Hello and welcome. I'm Tina Dyke, and I'm going to share with you today um, how I got here, where my journey started, my struggles, my failures. I remember growing up, my mom was such a hard worker. Like, nobody could outwork her. We would get up at 5 a.m. every day. We'd make lunch for everyone. We were a family of five, and we'd be off to work, by 6:30 in the morning. And in the summertime, we'd go hoeing in the fields, and we had a 30-minute drive to work, and so we'd start work at 7 a.m. and then we would work until 5 p.m. We'd we would drive home after that, and then we had a 3 acre yard with over 100 trees that we had all planted that we had to take care of yet, like when we got home. And we had this huge garden to take care of as well. So after our day of hoeing, we'd come home and start laundry, cook dinner, work in the garden yet, and when everything was ready, like for harvesting in the garden, we'd spend hours and hours of canning yet. And by the time we went to bed, it was like 12 at midnight, sometimes 1 in the morning. And then we'd get up the next day and then we'd do it all over again. It was quite exhausting at times. But what I learned from that is a strong work ethic. Like, there was no time to be bored at our house. Then when summer was over, we'd go back to school in August, and we cleaned houses for other people yet during all of that. So I think we had like 6 different houses that we cleaned for other people yet. So anyway, we'd go back to school, but we were absent a lot because we'd have to help my mom with everything that she had going on. And then during the fall season, my mom would help with harvesting cotton yet. And that's a job where you work, well, as long as it stays dry, sometimes till midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning, and sometimes even later than that. So while we were in school and mom was helping with the cotton stripping season, as kids we had to stay at a babysitter's house. So right after school, we'd go to the babysitter's house and stay there until it was bedtime. Then our sitter would take us home and then stay with us and put us to bed until my parents got home. And then the babysitter would go home like at wee hours in the morning. Then the next day, like, we'd see our parents briefly during the morning rush, to get everybody ready, and off everybody went. And so we went to school, and parents went to work. And then after school, it was off to the sitter's house again. This went on for years, and to be honest, I hated it. Like, we had nice babysitters and everything, okay? But I hated always being so busy and hardly ever getting to see my mom. And then when I was 19 years old, my mom died, and all I kept thinking was, I wish I could have spent more time with her. You start thinking about all the opportunities you missed and how much time you wasted. Anyway, so I didn't want that kind of life for my kids. I wanted to be able to stay home and raise them myself. But I also wanted to, help my take some of the financial strain off of my husband's shoulders so that he didn't have to work so hard. So that's what got me started in a network marketing business, something I could do from home, right? So while raising my kids, that was a dream come true for me. I was really determined to make this work, and so I did everything they told me to do. And before I knew it, I was like working 16 to 18 hours a day because I was determined to make this work, right? And so I was doing all this crazy stuff. I was calling 110 to 150 leads a day. I hated how much time I had to spend trying to grow my business, with very little results. I was cold messaging people from my friends list. If you have ever been one of those people that I did that to, I apologize. I didn't know any better at the time, and I apologize if I ever did that to you. I actually hated sending those, you copy and paste the messages so it goes faster, and sending it to all your friends list. I felt so much inner conflict trying to grow my business that way, the way I was being taught, But then I kept thinking, like, this is what the six-figure earners are doing, so it must work, right? I just have to stay consistent, they told me. Like, just keep doing what we're telling you to do, and so that's what I did. Until one day I realized, like, I am doing everything they're telling me to do, and this clearly, it's not working. There has got to be a better way than this. Our marriage was suffering because I never had any free time to spend with my family. And the reason I got started with this was, to have more time with my family. And now I was doing like the exact same thing that I didn't want for my family, except I was still raising our kids, our 3 kids. They weren't at a babysitter's house, that was different, but I knew I had to keep going because I was determined to find a way to make this work so I could help my husband. My husband is such an amazing guy. He's so giving. He would give you the shirt off of his back if that's the last thing we had. No joke. I absolutely loved the idea of creating a residual income from home. And then a friend of mine shared with me how she was using automated systems to create time freedom. A system that does like the sifting and the sorting for you and qualifying people. And that sales funnels actually work in network marketing. And she showed me like how I could leverage the internet to find an unlimited amount of leads, like an unlimited amount, like that was crazy to me. And she also showed me that I didn't have to strain my relationships, right, in order to be successful. And since I learned about this awesome tool, like people are coming to me, they're asking me, how can I join your team? They want to know like what I'm doing. They're interested and excited to hear about my business opportunity. That was so new to me, and I was really excited when that started happening. Because what we do, the way we do our business now is we work smarter and not harder. Our system works 24 hours, 7 days a week, selling and telling for me. This has created the time freedom I was looking for. So I no longer have to work 16 hours a day. I'm not wasting my time talking to people, who were never a good fit for my business and they weren't interested anyway. And if this sounds like something you'd be interested in as well, go ahead and fill out your application form on this page, and someone from our team will be in touch with you shortly. It may be me, it may be somebody else on my team, but somebody will be in touch with you and answer any questions you have and show you the system, whatever you want to know, okay? So I pray blessings over you and your family, and that you have an amazing day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.